It's me, it's brother teacher. You know, people get together in relationships for various reasons. Sometimes, and oftentimes, it's because of financial and or economical reasons. Because uh, they want one of the partners or both partners to have such an income that they can sustain a long-lasting relationship. So that's convenience, if you will. Other times, people get together in relationships and even sometimes marriage because of aesthetic beauty. He is a hunk. I love the way his body is built. And conversely, the man will look at the woman uh, sexually, if you will, or sex appeal, for lack of a better word or expression, and say, boy, her body is banging. I love the way her body is shaped. She's on the medium side. She's shaped like an hourglass. She has a bubble booty or a bubble butt or an apple butt, whatever, apple bottom. So, whatever the reason is that you get together in a relationship, you really should make sure that it's what you really, really want. Now, I've heard the expression over the years, to each his own. I don't particularly subscribe to this notion because sometimes when you use that expression, to each his own, what you're doing is validating a certain situation, and a certain situation could be harmful or detrimental to someone. In other words, and for example, a guy who pretends that he loves and cares about a potential mate, female, and he leads her on. He makes her believe that he cares about her and that he wants to make the relationship permanent and be with her forever and ever. But in fact, all she really is in his mind is a booty call. She's just convenient sex. Women are very emotional creatures. They should never be played like that. They deserve to have someone that loves them with the same love and tenacity and passion that they love that individual. Not to be played on. Even though we know this happens on both sides, both spectrums. Oftentimes, women want to engage in a relationship with a man because of what he can do for her financially. Sometimes they might be lonely. Sometimes they might just simply want someone to be there just to have that manly presence and that sense of protection. Sometimes that's what women want. And they don't mind sharing themselves. Of course, I'm talking sexually. They don't mind sharing themselves with that man in exchange, to some degree, for security. But at the same time, they want long term security in most instances. Now, there's a plethora of situations and varying situations that I could point out. I could talk about prostitutes. I could talk about gold diggers. I can talk about women, who use men for whatever reason, and even men who do the same thing to women. But I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about more specifically is being in a relationship with just sex. So, guys, I'm asking you the question: are you in that relationship with that woman just because the sex is good? Now, as I said before, there's an expression, to each his own. So, the to each his own thing, I don't subscribe to as it relates to this particular subject, because if you're in a relationship just for sex and she thinks it's other than that, and that it's possibly or potentially a long term relationship, you're playing with her emotions, you're playing with her feelings, you're playing with her mind, and that's not right. Now, if it's a mutual agreement or understanding that you're in that relationship, if you want to even call it a relationship, if it's mutually understood that it's just for physical contact, comfort, uh, exploration of one another, if you will, then I guess that's fine. That would never be me, though. Not in 100 more lives. I can never do that to another person. I'm in it to be in it to the end with that one companion. So now, I just pointed out that the men are just in the relationship for the sex because it's good. Stop playing the woman because she's worth more than that. I don't care who she is. And ladies, the same is true with you. If you are in a relationship with the guy just because the sex is good, you shouldn't mess with him either because he probably loves you. Okay? Now, if the sex is good and you see another guy that catches your eye, are you going to play on the man because you might think the sex is better? Not just simply be in a committed relationship and the sex is just an add-on, just part of the relationship. Sex should not be the only driving force in any relationship. Do you follow? I hope you understand what I'm saying. But I just wanted to share that with you today. So if you are in a relationship, man or woman, perspective I should say, and it's just because the sex is good, that might be good for the moment. But after a while, where the rubber meets the road, when the real issues of life come bearing down on both of you all's shoulders, sex is not going to bail you out. You are going to be forced to deal with the real issues of life. And sex just won't get it. This is Brother Teacher. What do you think?